Bone at the teeth. My first meal of the day is made. I'm kind of a weird person for whatever reason. Like whenever I have my first meal, whenever I eat, normally for me it's like around noon, 1, maybe 2, like 2, 3 at the latest. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this. And I also got some lines pulled up. I'm gonna look at the UFC lines this weekend for the Makhachev fight. I'm gonna scarf all this down. I think I'm going to make a video with my mom later for her reacting to the fights that happened this past week in the UFC 264 with the Tuivasa knockout, the Sean O'Malley fight, Conor breaking his leg. All that stuff is gonna be covered in that video. I think I'm gonna stretch, work out a little bit later too. I may or may not show some of that. And I think I have pinpointed my bets for this week, and I'm just gonna do one single parlay. As you can see, I got a 3-leg Metazus Gamrot. I don't think I'm saying that right. Sergey Morozov and Islam Makhachev. Putting $10 there to win 35.61 at plus 256 odds. Gonna go ahead and place that right now. And my bets are in for this weekend. I feel pretty confident in a lot of these because I mean most of these are locks except for Morozov. Morozov is actually a plus 115 dog, and I really like Morozov because I watched his fight against Umar Nurmagomedov, and I hold someone like Nurmagomedov to such a high standard given, you know, who he trains with and how good he looked in that fight. Makhachev's obviously a lock, and Metazus Gamrot. Hopefully all 3 of these will hit. I'm not too big on anything bigger than like 2 legs in a parlay, so we'll see. So if you guys watch a lot of fighting, whether it's MMA, boxing, whatever, anything really with any sort of striking, you may hear a lot of corners yell out to their fighter, be first, you have to be first. And then I remember Mike Tyson saying in like a podcast interview, some sort of setting like that, he was talking about like the biggest epiphany or biggest aha moment he had in his boxing career was early on, like in his amateur days, when he realized that the opponent he was facing off against was just as scared as he was going into that fight.
Period. And you saying you were afraid.
Yeah, that's what I found out. You know what? Being with Cuz, I found out this. Check this out, Charlie, right? I found out they were more afraid of me than I was of them.
Yes.
That's what I found out. And so once I found that, then my fear ran rapid.
Because he just realized that all you have to really do is just make them even more scared. Put it on them, get in their face right away, be first, and you're just going to add to that anxiety and the nervousness that they already have going on, and it's just going to snowball against them, and they're not going to be able to even get started because you're already in their face working on that nervousness and using it against them. Like in some of these clips right here, I am unbelievably nervous. This is my first ever competition at white belt ever, and the nerves that I had going into this were unbelievable. But you can just tell I was trying to be cool on the surface, but I'm very nervous, and you can see I'm a deer in headlights as soon as he shoots in on me. This guy's obviously a wrestler, and you can see he shoots in right here. Even still, like I lock up a guillotine right here, which was great. I submitted the dude, but now that I realize this, it sounds like I'm patting myself on the back. It literally, like, the only reason that this actually worked out for me and I submitted the dude is because this is like the most instinctual thing that I've, like, in jiu-jitsu for me, because like a lot of the people I'd face off against, especially as a white belt, and especially when we do stand-up stuff like this, were wrestlers and all they would do is shoot in, and they would shoot in on a single or a double and their head would be on the outside, and the guillotine's right there every single time. But even still, like when I go to lock up this guillotine, like I'm not there like to where like I'm like, you know, being super intense where I'm trying to like really cinch that up, wrap it up, get my leg over his back to hold him in kind of like a half guard. That is a great example though of me. You can visibly see how like nervous I am. I look like a deer in headlights. As soon as he shot in on me, I wasn't first. The dude actually was in way better position, even though he did get tapped. He was in way better position. He could have passed the side control and eventually got out and started working on me. But you can see there, I clearly was not first, and I was clearly very nervous. This is another great example of a competition. This was like my second tournament, I believe, and this is another one. I was a lot bigger than the dude right here, but I was just very nervous. Again, I'm trying to be cool, and I'm trying to act like I'm fine, but I'm very nervous. We start fighting for grips right away, and I try to like break over his grip, and then he pulls me down. I wind up back on top eventually, but that just again, somebody like me, I should be able to be first, and I should be able to use my reach, use my range, especially against a guy like that. Maybe work some trips, work some throws, things like that. And then we go to my most recent competition right before I had my own personal Mike Tyson epiphany or whatever. This was my most recent tournament. This was October of 2020. As you can see, I'm at blue belt now, so I've leveled up a little bit. I've gained a little bit of knowledge, and as you can see right here, I go out first right out of the gate. I go in, pull guard, go for single X, even though you can still tell I'm a little bit nervous here because that was a very sloppy single X pull. But right here I'm first, and it sets me up, so I already got the dude's leg locked up, and I'm starting to work on trying to get a sweep or something. I'm working his leg, trying to mess with his balance, and eventually I get up, get the single leg sweep, and wind up on top and top half. That right there, just that mental switch of knowing just how nervous this dude was, and he was just as big as I was, and I just knew I had to be first. I had to get in his face right away, and you usually can read your opponent. You can usually tell if they're like hyped up and they're ready to go, like they're moving around, or if they're just kind of calm standing there. Most of the time if they're calm standing there, either A, they're about to rip one of your limbs off, or B, they're just as nervous as you. Either way though, you gotta be first, you gotta get in their face, and that's a great example. As you can see, all of that was something I learned from Mike Tyson, which is something I believe any of you guys can pick up on. Any of you guys, if you guys compete in jiu-jitsu tournaments like this, if you just make this one little adjustment where you just try to be first, not necessarily saying going balls to the wall right out of the gate, but just try to be first, try to get ahead of on your opponent, it makes a huge difference, and it'll set you up for a lot more success later on, because usually whoever ends up like ahead or ends up in better position in a tournament like this, especially in like lower levels like white belt, blue belt, usually they end up having more success in those matches. I am in the car now, and I'm on my way to pick up America's best kept secret. If you guys are balling on a budget, you guys need food, I'm telling you right now, look no further. This is probably, in my opinion, one of my favorite things to get. It's cheap. I think it's definitely like something you gotta have the palate for, but I'll catch you guys when we get there. I think you guys are gonna like it. And there you go. That is what? It's like $6.50, and that is $8. So for like $15 total, you get 2 rolls of sushi. And also keeping it in line with the UFC brand, I got some Howlerhead. You can't really beat this though. I mean, for $15, you get two rolls of sushi. And like most places, if you're going to like a sushi restaurant, you'll probably for like 2 rolls pay like $30. So you're almost like paying half the price you would at a restaurant. I mean, obviously it is Kroger sushi, so you're probably not getting like the best quality, but dude, you can't beat this. $15, 2 rolls, it's gonna fill you up. It's a lot of protein. I know I might get some flack for this too, because this is Kroger sushi, but as Dustin Poirier would say,
you can kiss my whole asshole.
it's funny though, because like I'm still a little bit nervous about recording in the store. I can do all this stuff. I can compete in jiu-jitsu, can make videos at home, but I can't flip and for whatever reason record myself in a store. It's just too flipping weird. Too many people looking at me. I feel awkward. I can't do it. We'll get there one day though. Alrighty, so I just got back home and I got 2 out of the 3 legs cashed, and obviously the plus 115 dog cashed, and then Matus Gamrot minus 120. All I have left is Islam Makhachev at minus 720, so this should hopefully cash out $10 for 36. And then I also have this parlay, which is like a 6 leg, and I have like 3 legs left, and obviously they all look like locks. The riskiest leg being Jermel Charlo at minus 265. So it looks like we're en route to closing the night out potentially with winning some money, being up on money. We gotta wait and see how these fights play out, but so far so good. Islam Makhachev with the 4th round submission, and that cashes both of these parlays here. And that wraps up this video. Makhachev got the dub. I got the dub on DraftKings as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please be sure to drop a like, share this video. If you guys know anyone else that enjoys this type of content, please send my video their way. I would greatly appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, I'll catch you guys later.